Shalom, welcome back to Code Searcher. Alright, the last video I made a couple of lackadaisical comments. I want to straighten that out first before we get into talking about Siding-Spring. My subscribers do matter to me. I didn't mean to come across by saying I don't care about losing subscribers. My point behind the comment was I'm not motivated by numbers. I'm not here to be popular. Um, so I apologize if I offended anybody. My subscribers do matter. You guys are helping me get this spread um, to the masses, to people who are still asleep. Um, so that said, Siding-Spring. There are a few people that are concerned about me putting myself out there on that. Same thing happened when I did it with Ariel Sharon. A couple of close friends were like, "Are you okay?" Because it's very uncommon for me to do something like this. It's really got to be the Lord pressuring me um, to do so, because I don't believe the codes were meant for prediction. That would be divination. Okay, there's a difference between divination and revelation. When God gives you something, um, you know, that He gives you. Uh, there are people who are actively searching to know the future. That would be witchcraft. Um, I believe God pointed me to this, and I misstated in another video somewhere. It's been 2 years. It's actually been 13 months. Actually, for this comment, someone pointed it to me. It was actually an Aussie. It was discovered in Australia by the Siding-Spring Observatory. It was designated C 2013A1, and that is the table here that I've been talking about. It's the very same one. Um, at the time, I was really researching every comment because I'm looking, or have been looking, for wormwood. I believe wormwood is a comet and not an asteroid. It could be an asteroid, but it's just my theory. So I was researching every one to narrow it down. And then if you can remember back when I did Ison, this is Comet Ison here. Oy, oy, oy. Technical difficulties. All right, let me just take it back up to the 50. It's on a width of 153, so it's a very narrow um, column of scripture. It's just 154 letters. You can see the width from one side to the other. Very small area. Uh, this is the beginning of it. The very top term up there was the end of days. We've got Siding-Spring. See, Siding-Spring appeared in this table. It's up here. It looks like a lightning bolt. You can see siding. It goes from this dotted all the way around the other side to the Svav to this dotted. It's like a lightning bolt right there with spring, Siding-Spring all in one place. Comet right there. And then, of course, the 9 I will break into pieces that came all the way across. Down here is the actual axis term for Eisen. And if you remember in the other video, I talked about things being layered. There's so much detail that are related to this comet and other things in this table, because we're looking at a snapshot of a point in time um, that resonates out to other points in time. Like you can see here, the Shemitah standing vertically. This table had wormwood standing vertically. I pointed this out as well in this Eisen table. And if you remember, I said that it was a harbinger to, because the connection was not great. Now in the other table, Siding-Spring, the ELS for wormwood is very short. It actually goes horizontal through the planes of where the axis term is. And I'll just take you over there and show you right here in the verse there. And on the next line up, we've got poison and plagues. in the same line. Very short skip. So to me, Ison was loosely connected to Wormwood, and this comet is strongly connected to Wormwood, as if it's closer to. In other words, now Nibiru being there in this one, my explanation for that is not that there is a Nibiru, but there are people that will call Wormwood Nibiru when it occurs. That's my explanation. I'm not one who believes in any Sumerian and Anunnaki and Nibiru and all, and I don't down people that do. It's just not where I'm at in this. This is, I believe, what God has revealed to me, that people will inevitably call Wormwood Nibiru. Why? Because they have in everything else. Every other comet or something that's seemed like an anomaly, they say, oh, it's Nibiru. So that's why it's there. I mean, that's why what I believe about it. So the thing about this is we're looking at sevens, sabbaticals. God revealed that to me in Sharon's tables as well. The mystery of sevens that are here, God's pattern that He's laid out, His appointed times. We're looking at possibly this being the 49th. I mean, we're right at a jubilee cycle. We're talking about 7 sevens. 7 times 7 is 40. 49 years, almost 50 years. So it's every 50 years, or penta would be a jubilee. It just so happens that 2015 is Shemitah year, which means 2016 would be the jubilee year. And what I've been seeing in the codes, guys, is that those are very significant, highly significant years. I just want to come back over to Ison and show you some of the things that were here that I've learned later. We've got the date, which goes this way, Hey Tav Shin Ein Bet, which is the name of the comet. But reading from the other direction, the stack of letters reads the son of woe in 7. And then there was another connection there, but I wasn't confident about that, so I didn't include it. Or I believe it could read the time of woes 7, or son of woe. Right there is amazing. Also, and I didn't realize this at the time of Ison, but behold, the days are coming is in here twice. Right there. Shemitah standing there vertically, and Siding-Spring as well is in this table. And not only that, but there's other comets here too. Schumacher-Levy, which is a comet that I witnessed back in '94, impact Jupiter. Now this was very matter of fact, this was a Shemitah year as well, folks. God did this, and this was a sign. It initially was 9 fragments, and then it turned into 21 fragments, and over a period of days slammed into Jupiter and produced a very spectacular display. I mean, I remember seeing this and just being, at that time, thinking we were very close to the rapture. I mean, this was, to that date, a huge sign in the heavens. Now, folks, I really believe Comet 2013 A1 is potentially going to do the same thing. Let me just say this. The experts say it's unlikely that it will impact. It could have an interaction. Matter of fact, back on the NASA Mars exploration site for I can't speak this morning. Siding-Spring, and it says here unlikely. Chance of impact is unlikely. Calling it a near miss. There's one place on here where it talks about the rovers, and you can remember a year ago when I was talking about this, I felt like these rovers were put there not as to find water, but as being forward explorers or scouts that would give us an indication of something coming ahead of time. Seem like a more plausible or reason to fund that much money for. Why would you fund something? You're going to dump that much money into knowing whether or not there's water on Mars, and it really doesn't change anything when you find out. There's no value to that other than knowing that there was water on Mars. I mean, God can put water on whatever planet. What does it matter? No, that's a sham. That's the cover for what they're really doing. They're looking out further. Um, do you think it's coincidence that when ISID came over Mars that everything shut down? There was no funding for NASA and they couldn't report any pictures back? No, we were shut out of that because they didn't know what was going to happen. They didn't know if it was going to impact. Who's to say the same thing may happen here? Um, but they do have an orbiter that is tuned to watch what's going to happen, as well as the rovers. And I don't see the link to where. I think that's something else, but I'll leave a link where you can go and check this out yourself. Viewing from Mars. Here it is. They have the rovers that are going to try to catch whatever they can and report back. We'll see what happens. They're saying that it's unlikely that it will impact, but the what do you call it? I'm not a comet. Not the nucleus, but the coma or the tail or whatever will actually engulf Mars, and there could be like a discharge, some sort of discharge. And that got me thinking because the actual term in the Siding-Spring table for collides actually also means conflicts, like positive and negative particles. And not only that, we have in the table itself the lightning written backwards twice here. And so that got me thinking that there could be some sort of electrical interaction with this thing, and it explodes into many fragments. That's a possibility. I'm about 80% sure it impacts Mars, but 100% sure that it impacts something. That could be the moons, it could be another comet, it could be an asteroid, whatever. It impacts something, without a doubt. Mars, you see it's right here. I would love to see it closer or interacting with the access term, but it's over here. So, you want to get into the table? I know some of you do. You've been waiting patiently for me to talk about this. So let's just get in it. If you can remember in the other video I did about this, we've got Mars and Mountain of Fire, Poison, and Wormwood all come together. Also wormwood in the black and red spanning all the way down from the land of Israel, which I believe they will see things happening as well. They are following what's going on in big on signs, not just the Catholic Church. If you think the Catholic Church got a telescope on Mount Graham to look for aliens, you are mistaken. They're not looking in deep space for aliens, guys. They're looking for what's going to destroy the city on seven hills. Just a hint. Those beings are already here, so they don't have to look into deep space. They're looking for something that's going to impact. By the way, Mount Graham is also in here. It's one of the terms I backed out. It runs right around through here in this table. Rovers, really strange that appeared, which in Hebrew is vehicles. Right here in the plain text, also here, rovers. There's two of them in a plain text, and then an ELS right through right on the back. I mean, it's the same skip pattern as Nibiru, just a larger skip. A rover on Nibiru. We'll see. The shaking, Up here in the purple and I believe it's white, Yeshua or Jesus runs in the brown here. It's also in a blue running through each one of these verses that I've got highlighted. Um, Plagues, I've said this in the last video, hits this mem in judgment, and by the way, the tet is in comet. So we got a comet with the last letter in judgment, and plagues running through the first letter in judgment. Now, comets have been historically to the Hebrew people a harbinger of war and destruction. So the fact that we've been in these past 2 decades seeing a huge increase in comets, I mean, overwhelmed, seems like, with comets. God's telling us something here. Remember, he does things in the heavens for signs. Of course, we've got collides. It's also in the green here, vertically and going through the axis term. That's why I'm, based on analysis, convinced that God is showing me is very high probability that He's going to do something here. Especially when I saw the verse I read to you the other day about for His name's sake that He would do this. And I had just prayed to God, Lord, if this is your will, if this is what you're going to do, I need to know, because I'm, putting myself out there. Not that I care that what people are going to say, are going to call me crazy. Date setter, even though it's not about the rapture. They've got carried away with the date setting stuff. I was just uncomfortable. So praying and seeking God over this, that's the verse that I noticed the very next time I looked at this table. And the day before that, the Lord had given me Jeremiah 33:3, and to kind of give me some confidence. So being on the video, the last one, where I seem very I wouldn't say boastful, but overconfident. It's because every time I read the experts say, I go to the Lord and I say, God, the experts say, and it's kind of comical because my Father says. You see what I'm saying? So I kind of laugh. I feel like these especially with this Ebola virus, I would say, well, it will never, something never like that will happen in this country because we have protocols. I think you're tempting God when you say stuff like that. Anyway, we've got a rapture in here. You see there in the yellow and red. Some people don't believe in it, but that doesn't matter. If you want to tribulate, that's fine. There is a rapture, though. In one line, I've got plagues, and you see in the black and yellow. Where's the other verb? Resh. It's the resh in here. Running right through there. Also in the red and black, we've got poison. The next verse down, wormwood. Very small skip running right through there. And this is also the place where the Lord showed me Jonathan marveled or wondered or pondered Tishri 25. And the resh in that is, from the poison, wormwood, thinking about all the connections here, and this is what God shows me in a small area too. I mean, this is less than 40 letters square. My name, that, and then the month and the day, the exact month and the day in the plain text. Accident. If you start tallying down each thing, after a while, you're like, this is not an accident. God would put stuff in here. Behold, the days are coming in this table, as well as the end of days right there. We've got Obama's name. Look, in one line, we've got Obama's name, long version, the star, Chakav, right there in the blue, and then the letter that's sharing in this word here with the two black letters on each side. That's plagues shared with the star. There's a date, 2015, very small skip, and that line right up with Jonathan is in right there. We've got a comet running right through. Behold, the days are coming. Right here. America standing vertically. The rest in that verse there. Chachav in this verse with stones of fire. And you got United States in the blue with 2016, very small skip right here in these purple letters. The star right here with prophet. You got two prophets here. That could be two witnesses. And same line with stones of fire. And we're talking about the covering cherub, by the way, in this verse, which is, yeah, him. Same word right here. Let me move. My mug is in the way. The red letters here, here, all the way across. Same letters as this. 6 letters of stones of fire. Right there, right up under the access term. Sorry about that. Destroying mountain, or the destroyer, and the same word as in the red and black right here. It's an ELS connecting with the hay. So the hay of the same word runs this way and that way. Shemitah right there. We've got a year, 2016 right here, as well as Siding-Spring running. Siding-Springs running like this, right beside each other. Running right through there. Then in the purple letters, all in one verse. It's in Micah, I believe it is. Yes, it is. Astonishment. Okay, up at the top here, we've got a Shemitah with 3 judgments together, and Shemitah there. Up here where Jesus is twice, the shaking, Mars is also there. King of Judah. You know, the line of Judah's coming back. That's connected to the rapture, by the way. And I think that's all the ELS terms I have in this table. Now, mind you, I backed out many just to kind of, you know, because after a while, I mean, as you can see with Chris's tables, they become so meshed, it's impossible to see what you're looking at. Like I said, we're looking at a two-dimensional form that is dimensional. We're looking at time and space and decisions and actions and choices, all layered. So it's very important to kind of keep some of those things that are loosely related out of there. You know, like there's things about the Vatican and Mount Graham in here because they are watching comets, folks. They're not looking for aliens, aka demons. Those are already here. All right, so let's go. The original verses that I had in this table were these 3. This one and this white one here, I believe, and then this one and this one. Here, and I'm probably going to read the one on top of that. It's not highlighted as well. Should have probably been in the other video, but like I said, folks, there's so many verses that I feel like I shouldn't use the word feel, that I know in my spirit have a relation to the access term, but I don't highlight them at the time. And then, you know, like now we come back and we see everything that's there that I believe has a connection to this comet. Again, with less than 9,000. So we're looking at a section of the scriptures, mostly the prophets, around 4,500 letters, and then all of the data that I found in this table minus what I pulled out of it. I mean, it's, if you had a tally about a context, it just becomes overwhelming after a while. And if you think you can do this in Moby Dick, please, by all means, be my guest. Go ahead. And then show us, you know, verses or text that relate to that access term. Just saying, guys. A lot of people laugh at the Bible codes. It is not a sideshow anomaly. This is something God had ordained in purpose for the end times. It is a ephod of the end times. Let's get into the verses. Enough of the rambling here. Going to cut the video, camera off. Hold still. All right, here we go. We're in Isaiah 5. I wanted to start at 1 here. Folks, how many of you know that Jesus is the master of the vineyard? His name is here. It also runs also through the verse here with the iron. Let me just start. The actual verse is 8, but I'm going to start at 1. Now I will sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved, a touching his vineyard. My well-beloved hath sent a vineyard, hath a vineyard, and a very fruitful hill. And he fenced it, and he gathered out the stones thereof, and he planted it with the choicest vine. He built a tower in the midst of it, and he also made the winepress therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and he brought forth wild grapes. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem, and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What have you done more to my vineyard, that I've not done it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought forth wild grapes. And now go to, and now go to, I tell you, what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof, and it shall be eaten up, and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down. And I will lay waste, and it shall be pruned, nor digged, and there shall come up briars and thorns. And I also command the clouds, that they rain no rain upon it. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah is a pleasant plant. And he looked for judgment, and behold oppression, for righteousness, but behold a cry. Woe to them that join house to house, and lay field to field, till there be no place, that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. In my ears, said the Lord of hosts, of truth many houses shall be desolate, even great and fair, without inhabitant. Yea, 10 acres of vineyard shall yield 1 bath, and a seed of an omer shall yield 1 ephah. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink, and continue until night, until wine inflames them, and the harp and the viol, the tabret, the pipe, and the wine, and their feast. But they regard not the work of the Lord, neither consider the operation of his hands. Therefore my people have gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. The people are not getting the Bible. Alright, next verse is also in Isaiah. This is one I had originally highlighted. Around the 13th chapter. Alright, we'll just start at 1 with this one actually. Let's just do that. The burden of Babylon. We're talking about the fall of Babylon, guys. Lift ye up your banner upon the high mountain. Exalt his voice unto them. Shake the hand, that he may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones, and I've also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of the multitude in the mountains, as of the great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle, and they come from a far country, and even from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation, to destroy the whole land. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. The day of the Lord, folks. And it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. You know why? Men's heart fail them for those things that are coming upon the earth. And here you see in the 13th chapter of Isaiah, in this table. And they shall be afraid. Pains and sorrow shall take hold of them, and they shall be in the pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed at one another. Their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. He's coming to cleanse the land with fire, folks. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened from its going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked of the iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. And I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man of the golden wedge of Ophir. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chased roe, and as the sheep no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. Every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. The children also shall be dashed into pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, and shall not regard silver, nor as for gold. They shall not delight in it. Where did I go to? 22. Behold, I will stir. Okay. And the bows also shall dash the young men in pieces, and they shall. That looks like a suicide bomber. Their bows shall dash the young men into pieces. The weapons shall dash the young men in pieces. And they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. They will not have pity for pregnant women, nor children. It sounds like ISIS. The Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans, excellently shall be when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And it shall never be inhabited, neither shall be dwelt from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. No wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and nuclear fallout kind of does the same thing. Next verse, blue verse here. Also in Isaiah, every 8,934 letters, we get another verse. Okay. So what are the odds that these verses are just happen to come together at that width of a comet that has a? We're talking about the call number of the comet and the word comet resting on it. Come on now. We'll go to 10:9, and they shall not drink wine with the song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. Wormwood. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, and no man can come in. There's crying for wine in the streets. Drug addicts freaking out. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. The city is left desolate. The gates are smitten with destruction. When thus it shall be in the midst of the land among the people, there shall be a shaking of an olive tree, as the gleaning of grapes and the vintage is done. Very first verse talking about a vineyard. They shall lift up their voice, and they shall sing for the majesty of the Lord, and they shall cry aloud from the sea. Wherefore glorify ye the Lord in the fires, even the name of the Lord God of Israel in the isles of the sea. From the uttermost parts of the earth we have heard songs, even glory to the righteous. But I said, my leanness, woe unto me! The treacherous dealers have dealt treacherously. Yea, the treacherous dealers have dealt treacherously. And by the way, folks, Chris found Obama's name connected to that. Fear and the pit. The snare are upon thee, O inhabitants of the earth. You live on the earth? And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For the windows from on high are open. And folks, that happens during a feast time, when the windows of heaven are opened and the foundations of the earth do shake. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. Has this ever happened? And it shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones. We're talking about fallen angels, guys. Ones on the high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and they shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days they shall be visited. The moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed, when the Lord of hosts shall reign in the Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, and before his ancients gloriously. O Lord, thou art my God, and I will exalt thee. I will praise thy name, for thou hast done wonderful things. Thy counsels of old are faithfulness and truth. For thou hast made a city and a heap of defense, of city of ruin, a place of strangers to be no city. It shall never be built. And I just kept on going, didn't I? Went right on through 24, but there you go. Another verse. Let's look at the one with Comet in it here in the white. This is chapter 33. We'll start at 1. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. O Lord, be gracious unto us. We have waited for thee. Be thou their arm every morning, our salvation in a time of trouble. As the noise of the tumult of the people fled, and the lifting up of thyself, the nations were scattered. And your spoil shall be gathered like the gathering of a caterpillar, as the running to and fro of locusts shall he run upon them. The Lord is exalted, for he dwelleth on high, and he filled Zion with judgment and with righteousness. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Behold, their violent ones shall cry without. The ambassadors of peace shall weep bitterly. The highways lie waste, and the wayfaring man seetheth. He hath broken the covenant. He hath despised the city, and he regardeth no man. The earth mourneth, languisheth. Lebanon is ashamed and hewn down. Sharon is like a wilderness, and Bashan and Carmel shake off their fruits. Now will I arise, saith the Lord. Now will I be exalted. Now will I lift myself up myself. Ye shall conceive chaff, and ye shall bring forth stubble. Your breath as if fire shall devour you. And the people shall be as the burnings of lime, and the thorns cut up shall be as they burned in the fire. Hear ye that are afar off what I have done, and ye that are near, acknowledge my might. God is about to do something, folks. I'm telling you, God is about to move in this world. All right, this next verse I got highlighted here is where God showed me uh, the answer to what I had prayed. It's in the 48th chapter, 11th verse, and like I said before, I'd never noticed this before. We'll go to 10. Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. For my own sake, even my own sake, will I do it. And that stops right here where collides is. The next verse down. Now in the white, you can see verse 12. Hearken unto me, O Jacob and Israel. This is a sign to the Jews. When this happens, the Jewish people that are watching this channel, those rabbis who scrutinize me, will see this happen. Hearken unto me, O Jacob and Israel, my called, I am he, I am the first, and I am also the last. That's Jesus, folks, Yeshua. I am the first, I am the last, the Aleph and the Tav. Mine hath also hid, mine hand hath laid the foundation of the earth, and my right hand hath spanned the heavens, and when I call unto them, they shall come stand up together. All ye assemble yourselves and hear, even among them that declare these things. Which among them hath declared these things? The Lord hath loved him, and he will do his pleasure upon Babylon, and his arm shall be upon the Chaldeans. I, even I, have spoken, yea, I've called him, and I've brought him, and even made his way prosperous. Come ye near unto me, hear ye this. I have not spoken in secret from the beginning, from the time that was, there I am. And now the Lord God and his Spirit has sent me. Thus saith the Lord, thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. That's Yeshua. I am the Lord thy God, which teacheth thee to profit, and leadeth thee by the way thou should go. And thou hast hearkened unto my commandments, and had thy peace been as a river, and thy righteousness as the waves of the sea. Go ye forth of Babylon, flee ye from the Chaldeans, with the voice of singing declare ye, tell this, utter even unto the end of the earth, say ye, the Lord hath redeemed his servant Jacob. Glory to your name, God. And they thirst not when he led them through the deserts. He caused the waters to flow out of the rock for them. He clave the rock also, and the waters gushed out. And there is no peace, saith the Lord, unto the wicked. Next verse I got highlighted here is in Jeremiah. We're in the 6th chapter, 19th verse. Hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts, because they have not hearkened unto my words, nor to my law, but rejected it. How many know this country is rejecting God's law? To what purpose cometh there to me incense from Sheba, and a sweet cane from a far country? Your burnt offerings are not acceptable, nor your sacrifice sweet unto me. Therefore, saith the Lord, behold, I will lay a stumbling blocks before this people, and the fathers and the sons together shall fall upon them. The neighbor and his friend shall perish. Thus saith the Lord, behold, a people cometh from the north country, and a great nation shall be raised from the sides of the earth, and they shall lay hold on bow and spear. They are cruel and have no mercy. Their voice roareth like the sea, and they ride upon horses set in array as men for war against thee, O daughter of Zion. Again, we have woman in travail. mm, on down here. Now, I didn't highlight this verse here, but I want to go here anyway and read it. We can see this is Jeremiah 25th chapter. You can see that letter is a hyphen. The writers of this program didn't use the name of God. They changed to a symbol, so to be kosher. So that's why it's a hyphen there. But it's a yud hey. It's a hey. Uh, 25:18. To wit, Jerusalem, the cities of Judah, and the kings thereof, and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation and an astonishment and a hissing and a curse, as it is this day. The Pharaoh, king of Egypt, right here. Pharaoh, king of Egypt. This is a sign to Pharaoh, and I showed you who that was in the last video. Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and his servants and his princes and all his people, and all the mingled people, and all the kings of the land of Uz, and the kings of the land of the Philistines, Ashkelon, Azah, and Ekron, and the remnant of Ashdod. Right there. Next verse, Jeremiah as well. 30. 21. And their nobles shall be of themselves, and their governors shall precede them in the midst of them, and I will cause them to draw near. And he will approach unto me, for who is this that engaged his heart to approach unto me, saith the Lord? And ye shall be my people, and I will be your God. Behold, a whirlwind of the Lord goeth forth with fury, a continuing whirlwind, and it shall fall with pain upon the land of the head of the wicked. The fierce anger of the Lord shall not return until he had done it, until he hath performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days, in the end of days, folks, ye shall consider it. And at that time, saith the Lord, I will be the God of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people. That's actually the next, here's the end of days right here, the latter days. Acheret Yamim. Let me just scroll over there. This was where Comet run through here with the bet. Right here is the end of days. All right. Next verse we'll go here. 46:26. I know this, folks, is going to be a long one, so hang in there. And I will deliver them into the hand of those that seek their lives. It's got Obama's name. Into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and to the hand of his servants, and afterwards shall be inhabited as the days of old, saith the Lord. But fear not thou, O my servant Jacob, and be not dismayed, O Israel, for behold, I will save thee from afar off, and thy seed from the land of their captivity, and Jacob shall return and be in rest and at ease, and none shall make him afraid. Fear thou not, O Jacob my servant, saith the Lord, for I am with thee, and I will make a full end of all nations, whither I have driven thee. And folks, there are many Jews in this country, New York and California, but I will not make a full end of thee, but correct thee in measure. Yet will I not leave thee wholly unpunished. All right, this next one here is also Jeremiah 51. This is about this destroying mountain. Behold, I'm against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord. Now, mountains also represents kingdoms, but in this case, we're talking about a comet, I believe, and this is what that pertains to. Saith the Lord, which destroyeth all the earth, and I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and make thee a burnt mountain, a mountain of fire, remember? And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, But thou shalt be desolate forever, saith the Lord. Set up ye a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations. Let's sound the alarm, folks. Prepare the nations against her, and call themselves. This is why I believe this is a warning in this table. Prepare against her the nations of the king of Medes. We're talking about war, folks, coming, and that's what I've been saying about this Shemitah. Help us, Lord Jesus. All right, this is the verse with the covering cherub in Ezekiel. This, of course, is Lucifer, who will be cast out at a particular point, folks. He is not here yet. There's a vessel here, but he has not entered into him yet. More of the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord God, Thou sealest up the sum full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. All right, we're talking about Lucifer here. Thou hast been in Eden, upon the garden of God. Every precious stone was thy covering. The ephod on his chest, the sardis, the topaz, and the diamond, the beryl, and the onyx, and the jasper, the sapphire, and the emerald, and the carbuncle, and the gold. The workmanship of thy tabrets and thy pipes were prepared in thee the day that the Lord that thou wast created. Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth, and I have set thee so. Thou wast upon thy holy mountain of God, and thou walked up and down the midst of stones of fire. Stones of fire, comet. Thou wast perfect in thy ways from the day that thou wast created, until iniquity was found in thee. By the multitude of thy mergers, and they have filled the midst of thee with violence, and thou hast sinned. Therefore I will cast thee as a profane out of the mountain of God, and I will destroy thee, O covering cherub, in the midst of the stones of fire. Okay, now he's being cast out, folks. Remember in the other table, a video I told you, he's going to be cast out. There's going to be an impact in Revelation 8. If you keep reading, you'll see this is when he's cast out. He's given a key to the bottomless pit. This is when he let his entourage out to help him, because why? His time is short. And there we see the covering cherub here in the end time table with stones of fire. Next verse is in Joel here. Oh, you know where I'm going. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound the alarm on my holy mountain, and let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. For the day of the Lord, second time this is up, the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong, there hath not been ever like, neither shall there any more after it, even in the years of many generations. A fire devour before them, and behind them a flame burneth. In the land of the garden of Eden before them, just talked about Eden here, and behind them the desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is the appearance of horses. As the horsemen they shall run. Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of the flame of the fire that devour their stubble. As the strong people set in array in battle before their faces, as the people shall be much pained, and all faces shall gather blackness. All faces shall gather blackness. Is that soot? Or some sort of residue? They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb and the wall like men of war, and they shall march everyone his ways. And they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another. And they shall walk everyone in his path. And they shall fall by the sword, and shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city, and shall run upon the wall, and shall climb upon the houses, and shall enter to the windows like a thief. And the earth shall quake before them, and the heavens shall tremble. The sun, the moon shall be turned dark, and the stars shall withhold their shine. This is a second indication in this table. The day of the Lord, again, great and terrible day. Who can abide it? Again, next verse here is in Amos 7:14 is where I'm at. We'll try to get through this quickly here. And then answered Amos and said unto Amaziah, I was no prophet, and this is my cry here. Neither was I prophet's son, but a herdsman, and a gatherer of sycamore fruit. And the Lord took me as I followed the flock, and the Lord said unto me, Go, prophesy unto my people Israel. Now therefore hear thou the word of the Lord. Thou sayest, Prophesy not against Israel, nor drop thy word against the house of Isaac. Therefore thus saith the Lord, Thy wife shall be as a harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land shall be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land, and Israel shall surely go into captivity forth from his land. And that has a star with two prophets in there. Alright. This is Micah. We're in the 4th chapter, 13th verse. Has astonishment in that with purple letters there. Arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion, and I will make thine horn iron, and I will make thy roofs brass, and thou shalt beat to pieces many people, and I will consecrate their gain unto the Lord, and their substance unto the Lord the whole earth. Now gather thyself troops, O daughter of troops, and he hath laid siege against us, and they shall smite the judge of Israel, and the rod upon his cheek. Zephaniah 2:10. This shall they have for their pride, because they have reproached and magnified themselves against the Lord of hosts. The Lord will be terrible unto them, for he will famish all the gods of the earth, and men shall worship them, and every one from his place, even all the owls shall of the heathen. And was there any more? Let's see. Yeah. Down here we're in Psalms 35:5. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Lord persecute them. And that's running with the year 2016 going right through there. Next verse, Psalms 50. And I think I went to 3. Yeah. Our God shall come, and he shall not keep silent. A fire devour before him, and it shall be very tempestuous tempestuous round about him. I'm going to get a lesson on that, I'm sure. He shall call to heaven from above, and to the earth, and he judge his people. I went to 5. Gather my saints together unto me, and those that made a covenant with my sacrifice. Covenant with me by sacrifice. Right there. I think that's the last verse. It is. Alright, so that's what I got on Siding-Spring, and everything I highlighted there I felt was relative or relevant to the actual term. So there it is. Everything I got for Siding-Spring so far. And this is why I believe God is going to use it to get the world's attention. So that God's people know that he is very close, that Yeshua is so close, and the scoffers as well will see that God means business. There it is. And you know, as we get closer, I'm sure more will come out of it, and we'll just have to wait and see what God does. But that's it. God bless you, folks. I'm gonna wrap it up here because I know this one's been probably a longer one. I love you. Thank you for those who are supporting this ministry and are helping. Um, we're putting together a new platform, guys, that we're going to be meeting on with Google Hangouts. I'm learning that now, so hang in there. Um, Also have a pin board up too as well. I want to point that out before I close out this video. If you go to my page under the About section, and the reason for this is so I can get an idea where pin board location right here, and it'll take you to a place where you can you know, fill out some information. All you really need is your city, your zip code, and you can put any name. You know, I'm not collecting data on anybody. This is to get an idea of you know, I could see a visual where everybody's at, because it's not you know, the point about going and meeting the subscribers, but you know, having a something that I can stream someplace where I can speak openly, because on YouTube I'm limited to the things that I can say. But if we do something with a group where you know, what I believe is going to come out of that, based on the history with what happened in Tiny Chat that night, is going to be amazing. The revelation that comes out of it. Now, what I wanted to do was, when I get to these places, is have material that I can give them that they can burn and pass out and spread things that way, because I've found that my best allies are those that are subscribers, that really are, you know, they get it, they're committed, they're the ones I know that are standing with me, that will help me get this out. Brother Larry up at the conference helped me pass out DVDs, and it was just a, you know, a tremendous help. So to be able to go to places like that, and that is not going to be the focus of this ministry, but just part of it. I would like to find out where areas I could go to do that. So that's the reason for that. Otherwise, the live streaming, we're planning in Jonesboro. Will be the kickoff point. It'll be where we kick it off, and everybody can use the platform and kind of see how it works. And we're trying to make something that's interactive here, folks, that where people can you know, pose their opinions, questions, interact. We'll be able to do screen capture, and we'll be able to look at charts, and other researchers that are participating present their stuff, that kind of thing. So it's still developing. Be praying about it. So God bless you. I'm gonna close out the video now.